So far, the fight between Valve and Epic regarding digital distribution on PC could hardly be called a fight. Valve has kind of sat around doing basically nothing, while the Epic Games Store has been securing exclusive after exclusive, very aggressively starving the PC market in what looks like an attempt to supplant Steam and become a de facto monopoly. Well, the thus far one-sided fight has received a little bit of a twisty turn, and Steam has gotten something of a shot in the arm thanks to Microsoft pledging to bring more of its games to Steam, with an announcement that seems to be throwing a little bit of shade in the direction of the Epic Games Store. And can we just take a moment to appreciate this image of the PC Gamer website with this news, surrounded by a massive commercial for the Epic Games Store mega sale that takes up more real estate on the page than the actual story. Just drink it in. Some very nice shades of pinks and purples though, I do like it. They've got Epic, despite what you say about Epic, their sales have nailed colour scheming. Releases from Xbox Game Studios will no longer be stuck languishing in the Microsoft Store, with Xbox head and wearer of indie game t-shirts Phil Spencer saying, "Our intent is to make our Xbox Game Studios PC games available in multiple stores, including our own Microsoft Store on Windows at their launch. We believe you should have choice in where you buy your PC games." I mean, you didn't until now, but it's nice that you finally did, but you didn't until now. It's nice, but you didn't until now. It is nice. As Epic commits to buying up more and more exclusives wherever it can, it's interesting to see that Steam is getting a little something at least. It's interesting to see some news regarding games coming to Steam. Epic's bellicose tactics when it comes to securing both indie and AAA exclusives has pissed off a lot of people, but it has proven successful for the store. Those games that have gone exclusive have reported some pretty successful sales figures, but they have nonetheless competed at the expense of player convenience, choosing instead to simply buy its way to the top of the food chain rather than provide compelling end-user benefits. Freely operating within a market that allows it to do so, Epic Games has thrown its massive wads of Fortnite and Tencent money around, using significant financial bonuses plus, of course, the generous revenue split to entice many games, both big and small, into divisive exclusivity deals. Meanwhile, Valve appears to have taken most of this lying down, and that's been a major problem. Part of my overall long-term frustration with Valve is its complacency. It's always been content to sit on its laurels and do pretty much fuck all. It relies so heavily on its own users, on Steam's own communities to do things like quality control, curation, but Steam curators with their Steam Curator page can hardly do anything about Epic's attempted market starvation now, can they? And here we are with a bit of positive news for Steam, and it's not positive news that emanated from Valve, it's something Microsoft is doing, which I think pretty much sums up Valve's problems right now. As for Microsoft's part in this is a good move for them, I think. This is a pretty smart, savvy move. As well as capitalizing on the discontent surrounding the Epic Games Store, Microsoft is also widening its audience base. It's going to be offering its games to, well, significantly more people as a result of this, which long-term is only going to be good. The Microsoft Store is pretty pants, so people will likely appreciate being able to buy top Microsoft games, top Xbox titles on Steam, though the Microsoft Store itself will also begin accepting Windows 32 games, not just universal Windows apps, which also is quite nice. This is all part of a broader effort on behalf of Microsoft to open up its games to more platforms and get their titles in front of more people. It was announced earlier in the year that Microsoft would be bringing Xbox Live features to the Nintendo Switch of all consoles, an effort that started with the recently released Cuphead. I mean, I say recently released, it's been out a while now, hasn't it? I need to rebuy that. I really liked it when I played a bit of it, but I never got round to finishing the whole thing. I'd like to have that on the portable. I'm going to do that later a bit. Got to play Iconoclasts first. Microsoft has been subverting the idea of console wars by bringing its titles elsewhere, which is really clever, I think. The Xbox One didn't dominate the market the way that the Xbox 360 did, and as we reach the tail end of this generation, it's really not a bad move at all to start offering its games to wider audiences outside of the console and the Microsoft Store. I've given Microsoft a lot of shit this generation. The Xbox One has not impressed me at all, but I am impressed with the idea of bringing Xbox Live services to other consoles, to other platforms. Between the widening up of Microsoft's reach and the impressively generous Game Pass service on the Xbox One, Microsoft has been doing quite a few things right lately. I just wish they'd started doing this kind of stuff sooner. You know, it's often considered a tired joke, a dead horse, to say that your console gathered dust, but the Xbox One in my house literally was gathering dust for most of this generation. I had very little reason to turn it on, though to be entirely fair, I also should just do the dusting in my house a lot more regularly. I've often joked that the Xbox One X, the world's most powerful console, released with no major new game from Microsoft itself to take advantage of all that power. In fact, the biggest new game they had for the system was Super fucking Lucky's Tale. But with intriguing new indie releases and the Game Pass meaning you can try almost anything without a financial risk to your own wallet, I've certainly been having the Xbox One on a lot more lately. I recently used it to play Void Bastards, which I'll have a Impressions video up on that sometime, maybe this weekend. It's quite fun when it's not being really annoying. And I also used it to try The Outer Wilds, which ironically is an Epic Game Store exclusive. On the PC, of course. If it was just Epic, then obviously I wouldn't be playing it on the Xbox One now, would I? For God's sake. But yeah, thanks to the Game Pass, I had the Xbox One on after playing Void Bastards and was like, right, we'll give that a try as well. But I think I'm going to have to give the Outer Wilds another second go later on, because I tried it once, tried the flight mechanics once, and thought to myself, nope, I'm not in the mood for that shit tonight. Considering the Epic Game Store managed to nab timed exclusivity on some PS4 titles, specifically Quantic Dream's output like Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain, I'd be interested to know whether Epic tried to nab Microsoft's games as well, though taking any such deal would go against what seems to be Microsoft's ethos at the moment, which is, let's just get our games out in front of as many people as possible. And sure, that's self-interest. It's not one of those not all heroes wear capes situations, but it's nonetheless good for us, the customer, which really in this industry is about all you can ask for anymore. And isn't that nice for us? We get to have some positive news for once. It's nice, isn't it? Microsoft's doing some alright things. Which makes a fucking change.